What's good, everybody? This is John J. Gaiman on the mic, coming at you guys with a brand new episode of the Cincinnati Royals here on NBA 2K21. I should say, almost at 2K20 out of force of habit, but hey, we are here, man. Second season of the Cincinnati Royals, and core way for the season, we are sitting at about 500. Matter of fact, we are actually pretty similar to, in terms of wins, where we were for an entire season. So just checking out the standings real quick, we are actually sitting in 8th place right now. What's crazy is that last year we only had 19 wins throughout the whole year, and now we're through about a quarter of the year already and we got 13 wins. So we almost matched the number of wins that we had last year in just the first quarter, and we're doing that with young guys as well. So the future definitely bright here in Cincinnati. We'll go ahead now, also check out the stats for our guys here pretty quick, as this is how we're doing through first quarter of the season. Michael Porter Jr., man, leading the team in scoring, averaging around 20 points per game actually, also doing that with close to 7 rebounds. He has been a nice add for us here, man. He's only going to get better as he stays healthy and gets more minutes as well on top of that. But Valadi, man, our best player on this team without a shadow of a doubt, already averaging close to a double-double in his rookie campaign, 60.5 points and 10 rebounds a game, and also doing 5 assists. So this is a guy that can do a little bit of everything. Want to see his blocks go up a little bit because he is a 7-foot guy, but he's a very athletic dude, and I love what he brings to the table as well, and he's only going to get better from there. Also have guys like Tyrese Halliburton. His production actually is about the same, even though he doesn't have to do as much. And then same thing with Malik Beasley, Emmanuel Mudiay. We got a solid core, man. But now, the game we're going to be playing up against today, we're playing against the New York Knicks, and the New York Knicks, they do have a tandem at that power forward center position as starters. James Weisman, he did win Rookie of the Year last year, and then they have another guy, Gary Jenkins, who was the 3rd overall pick. He is 7'7", 300 pounds. He is definitely a lot different than what Valadi is, but he's averaging a double-double himself, 11 points and 10 rebounds. More traditional center, but should be an interesting matchup to see how Valadi matches up with him, as well as the fact that they do have Paul George on this team as well. And this is a team that's also trying to get into the playoffs as well. So, hey, we'll see what we can do, man. Should be a good one. But hey, that being said, man, if you are excited about this game against the New York Knicks, do me a favor and please smash that like button, as well as hit subscribe if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. Let's go ahead and get this game in against the New York Knicks. Let's get it. Alright, man, so we are officially out here in Judah Bank Arena, but we got our Cincinnati Royals taking on these New York Knicks, and it's going to be interesting to see how we handle this backcourt, or not, excuse me, the front court for the Knicks, man. They have the reigning Rookie of the Year in James Weisman, as well as Gary Jenkins, who is taking the tip for the Knicks. But our boy Valadi, though, he does win that as well. On that, they also got Paul George, man, so they are definitely looking a lot different here, as well as we try to go into the paint. James Weisman, though, he was ready to go, as we're going to go ahead and try to stop Paul George. We do that as well. So both teams struggling a little bit to get on this board here, as we try to pass it to Valadi. Probably forced it a little bit there, but Trey Lyles actually probably would have had himself an easy layup if he just went up for it, but just chose not to. I wonder why, but the game is still tied at 0. We finally might get our first green bean, Malik Beasley. Let's go, man. So finally see some points on here, man. It took a little while, but hey, we finally broke the the scoreboard, as James Weisman ends up picking up the rebound for the Knicks. They get their first points as well. James Weisman, man, averaging close to 20 points per game coming into this one here as well, as we do get a block from Michael Porter Jr. going on the fast break. Here's MPJ the other way. Let's go, baby. MPJ with the emphatic slam dunk. You'll love to see that right there. As we're pulling away a little bit, 14-8. Valadi on the fast break. And Gary Jenkins, he can't keep up with him either. That's one advantage that Ron Valadi has. He can't go to the post up as much like he usually does because Gary Jenkins is a 7'7", 300-pound monster, but he is a lot quicker. So we're going to get him going on the fast break for sure. At least that's the plan for right now, as Paul George, he gets a bucket as well. It pulls it within 4. We got to actually go ahead and take a timeout as well. Knicks try to move this thing around, 12-19. Kevin Knox trying to drive in. James Weisman, though, trying to go for the mid-range or danger. That's no good. As the Royals are on the fast break, we got Josh Green in the corner. That's good to go. Counting that as a free-pointer for us as well. As we now got it 22-14. As the Knicks going the other way now after a miss from Tony Bradley. Got some guys that I don't know because that's the New York Knicks after all. Going to pass it off to Jordan Lamb, and he's going to make the bucket. It's a 24-19 in favor of the Royals. Still, we turn the ball over. Frank the Tank is actually on this roster, and so is Fred VanVleet, who goes the other way, pulls up from the mid-range, just inside that 3-point line, and sinks it. So 26-21 for the Royals, but another miss with 50 seconds left. We're going the other way. Lamont Kersey passing it to Emmanuel Mudiay, who lays it up like the filet. And is good for the bucket, as Kersey trying to pull up the end of the first quarter. That's no good, though. Knicks trying to get something going here. Got a fast break opportunity, though. It's Jeremy Lamb who's going to be able to go to the line as he is fouled by Zach Collins right there. And so in the first quarter, man, Zach Collins, because of that foul, that's 2 free throws for Jeremy Lamb. But still, nice first quarter for the Royals, man. 28-20, actually 30-23 in favor of the Royals. We'll see if we can keep this kind of energy up here, though, as we now go into the second quarter. Still same score, though, as Josh Green going to pass it out to Lamont Kersey, who's fouled on the layup by Jeremy Lamb, but he should be able to make both of those free throws, and he sure does. And now it's almost a double-digit lead for the Cincinnati Royals as they pass it off to Josh Lamb. That's no good, though. Royals on the fast break. That's when they're the most dangerous. Kersey in the corner. It's no good. Tony Bradley, though, picking up the rebound, so going to try to move the ball a little bit now as we try to pass it over the middle to Mudiay, who gets the layup to go. Tight window that Josh Green was able to sink that through. You'll love to see that. As it's now 34-26 in favor of the Royals. Paul George, though, getting an easy bucket. Probably the easiest three-pointer he's going to get all day. Paul George, man, he can stroke it from deep when he's left wide open like that. So, you know, we can't, get away with that, too terribly often. As now we're passing it in the corner again. Our own guy, Michael Porter Jr., good for the three-pointer. Now 43-35 in favor of the Royals. Jaleel Okafor is double team. What? That's when you know 2020 and 2021 are wild years. When in a 2K video game, Jaleel Okafor gets a double team, but we can't take advantage of it, and they actually give a foul up on the other end as well. Kevin Knox even gets the and one too, as it's 43-38, trying to get the offense revving up once again, but can't make the mid-range or danger though. Paul George given too much space again, sinking another three right in the face of Malik Beasley. So pulling closer now as they're right in the back of Paul George for right now as he tries to drive, but he settles for the mid-range or danger. It's no good though. Ron Valadi going to actually take it up. He's got Kevin Knox on him, though. Going to back that little boy down. Pull up. Bang. Oh, it rimmed out. It actually rimmed out. Ron Valadi could not finish over Kevin Knox. It's Michael Porter Jr. He's blocked. Beasley, can he make some free? That's no good. Ron Valadi fights for it. He does end up getting the bucket. Only his second bucket of his game, but he almost has double-digit rebounds. That's his double-digit rebounds, matter of fact. Beasley passing it to Ron Valadi, who lays it down with a 40, though. And so we now have our first overall pick on fire. pants on fire. And Ron Valadi going down court, gets it to Michael Beasley, gets to Ron, who lays it in good. And the Knicks go and have to take a timeout here. Now a double-digit lead. As Frank the Tank going to try to break the seal on the basket for the Knicks here in the second quarter, but passes it to Lamb instead. The open three is no good, though. Ron Valadi actually thinking about taking it the other way, but does go ahead and pass it out to Josh Green, who gets the green bean machine. You'll love to see it. As it's now sitting 54-43. Moutier trying to see if a play develops, but Fred VanVleet, though, goes ahead and picks his pocket, really, and even gets a foul on Moutier. So gets the steal and gets the foul called on him as well. Ends up making both of his free throws as well on top of that. But despite that, still a double-digit lead that the New York Knicks are facing, and might get a little bit bigger now as we get it to Josh Green, the green bean machine. Another bucket that it is good. As a 62-48, Knicks desperately need a bucket. They're not going to get it, though. As Ron Valadi taking it down court. He's got Fred VanVleet on him, though. No chance, and the basket is good. You'll love to see it as we go into the locker room with a dominating performance. Just out here taking care of business, and that's exactly what you love to see. Outplaying Gary Jenkins and company here in this first half, as we have a 64-51 lead, but we're doing it because we're passing the ball really well. We have 22 assists in that first half, and that's what I love so much about this team. It doesn't have any star players yet, although there's a couple of guys, Michael Porter Jr. and Ron Valadi, who could potentially be those star guys down the line. But for this season, we don't have any star players, but they play like a team so well, as Ron Valadi had himself an open bucket, but decided to pull up. You know, that's the old classic 2K. What are you doing, man? That's insane, but it goes the other way. Gary Jenkins does end up getting a bucket as they try to move the ball a little bit now, down by 11. Kevin Knox going to try to drive on Trey Lyles, who's able to get the defensive stop. He's going to take it down court, finds Michael Porter Jr. in the corner, and that's good as well. He has 15. Here comes Tyrese Halliburton. He's trying to get it on the scoring action. He hasn't gotten very involved here yet today, but I'm sure we'll get him involved eventually, though. All good point guards are able to find their own, too, and especially when it comes to distributing the basketball. As you're trying to go down court with Halliburton, going to try to lay it up on Gary Jenkins, but it goes terribly wrong. And now Knicks have another fast break opportunity. Paul George on Malik Beasley, but ends up passing it out, though. As here comes the Knicks, trying to make it a single-digit game here. Once again, Elfrid Payton open for free, and that's good. Now just a 7-point game as we pass out to Trey Lyles here again. He has an open mid-ranger danger, and even as with the reputation of being a stretch 4, he cannot sink it. So, you know, you had one job, and he done fucked it up. And so that leads to, you know, easy buckets for the New York Knicks on the other side. As we're still trading buckets here in this third quarter. Elfrid Payton with a beautiful floater. Just, you'll love to see it as the Knicks trying to stay in this thing. Now a 7-point game, though. Kersey trying to pull up from the mid-ranger danger, but can't convert the catch-and-shoot opportunity as McDaniels takes it to the teeth of the defense and gets the bucket to go as 73-78 in favor of the Royals. But Gary Jenkins, though, he's starting to get a little heat up as well. He has 14 in this game, but doing 88% from the field, that's usually a pretty darn good thing to do here, as thanks to a bucket by Fred VanVleet, it now only makes it a one-score game. And they'll try to make it a one-score game again. Another three-pointer from Elfrid Payton, but this time no luck, as here comes the Royals trying to move it down court. Tony Bradley doesn't get the foul, but does get the bucket to go, though. So now 83-77 in favor of the Cincinnati Royals. Jenkins gets his, get his pickpockets And now we are on the fast break. Tony Bradley throwing it down with a 40. Good Lord. Elfrid Payton, no chance of stopping the poster. How about that for an autograph moment right there, man? And now 85-77, the Royals starting to pull away here once again as they have another fast break opportunity. Bradley gonna take it up, another jam. Slam-a-dam-a-doo from Tony Bradley, baby. 87-77. And we're not even done with this third quarter here as well, as the Knicks are going to try to respond here. But Gary Jenkins loses the ball again. This time Tyrese Halliburton with the steal, and he's going to get a slam dunk on the other end. Now here comes Ron Valadi, the #1 option on this squad. He's ready, feels rested up, good to go. And now 89-77 in favor of Cincinnati. Jenkins trying to get the post to go, but that's no good. Post hook still needs a little bit of development, as Kersey going to try to pull up, get it to Ron Valadi though. And just not enough coverage there from a guy that can shoot that mid-range shot so well. And so 91-77, Royals looking to finish though, but we actually get blocked on the other end. Here comes the Knicks, and Ron Valadi actually leaves Jeremy Lamb, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna just go take that shot, no problem, man. But still a great third quarter though, as we continue to build up this lead for sure. As we are going into this final quarter of play, we're gonna be up 91-79. Let's finish it. So let's go, man. Fourth quarter officially underway. Paul George trying to start off strong, but he can't get the open three. That usually looks like Paul George in the fourth quarter, but he is bailed out though, as Paul George tries to take another mid-ranger danger. He can't make that either, as Valadi gonna pass it to Emmanuel Mudiay, who is really turning into a nice bench player. He could be a potential six-man of the year for his time with the Cincinnati Royals. Loving the kind of scoring and all-around skills that he does bring as a bench guy. You love to see it, as now we got a 101-88 game going for us right here. Michael Porter trying to shoot the free. That's no good though. Ron Valadi though, he gets the rebound but can't finish the putback though. Knicks going the other way with it, as they're trying to dribble it out a little bit. Lob to James Weisman. Trey Lyles was with him. He was the macaroni on the cheese, but there was simply no opportunity for him to contest that lob right there, and we saw it right in front of our eyes, as Malik Beasley is going to be called for the foul. As 106-94, Paul George trying to get some cooking going. Mid-ranger danger, no good though. Michael Porter Jr. with the rebound. Here comes Ron Valadi with his 22nd point right there. He's having a monster day, 22-16. As Ron Valadi, he now has the takeover badge, but can't finish though. You know, known for glass cleaning, but still unfortunately could not finish there. As now here comes the Royals coming the other way, and now we got an opportunity for Valadi to pull up from free. He can't make that three-pointer that time around, but he is capable of making it though, as the Knicks do turn around and get another bucket to go. It's back down to 10. Let's see if we can run another play for Ron Valadi. He got that takeover badge turn on, and I'm trying to take full advantage of it right now. See if we can get him open. He has a not very athletic center on him, as Valadi takes him off the dribble and does a baptism. Good Lord. James Weisman, hide the women and children. Slam dunk. The #1 overall pick, putting people on the ground, as James Weisman tries to go ahead and respond here. He gets the foul. But wow, what a hallmark moment here. Although it's not completely done yet, it's now only a 6-point game here with 45 seconds left. James Weisman going to try to pull up from the mid-ranger danger. It's no good, but Gary Jenkins, he gets the rebound, but not the putback. And he's going to be forced to foul here, as we're going to go ahead and start, you know, basically make sure that we're in the bonus, and we will do just that, as that foul by Elfrid Payton does just that, as now we're just going to go ahead, just run out the clock now. But the Knicks aren't done yet. They are going to keep this thing going. Paul George able to get it to go. It's back down to a 6-point game. And my, oh my, they're not going to quit, are they? Alfred Payton going to the line, but Tyrese Halliburton, he makes both his free throws, and we beat the New York Knicks in our first encounter with number 5 overall pick Gary Jenkins, a custom prospect. We'll go ahead and check out the stats for today's game. Alright, man, so checking out the stats for our guys here, and well, we're going to start out with the New York Knicks, man. They were led today by Paul George. He did his thing out there, man, not going to lie. He was, 29 points and was relatively efficient with it, 13 for 27 from the field. Also had a couple boards and assists as well. James Weisman, though, had himself a double-double. He had 20 rebounds today. He ended up at power forward, so he got loose with the boards a little bit. He had 18 points on top of that and 5 blocks as well. Dude was a force down there as well. Kevin Knox had 14. Gary Jenkins, a custom prospect, a rookie custom prospect who was the 3rd overall pick, 14-11, and had 6 blocks on top of that. Was pretty efficient too, 7 for 11 from the field. And then Alfred Payton had himself 10 points, and same with Jeremy Lamb as well. So, decent games for some of those guys. As for your Cincinnati Royals, though, Ron Valadi again dominating out there. 24 points, 20 rebounds, 4 assists. Also had 3 blocks. You would love him to be a little bit more efficient. 12 for 24, but, misses only 3-point attempt, but a really good game from him. Michael Porter Jr. had 19 points and 5 rebounds from the field. Manuel Mudiay, though, off the bench, man, 17 and 11, got himself a double-double. That's also very impressive to do when you're basically the 6th man of the squad. Tyrese Halliburton, he did his thing too, 15 points and 8 assists. Tony Bradley had 11 points and 5 boards. And then Josh Green, he had 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. So good game from a guys that led to another dub. You'll love to see it. So after the game, what we did decide to do was sim the rest of the month of February, and we're going on a little bit of a tear, man. That includes finishing out the month of February. We win the last 5 out of our 6 games of the month of February. Granted, we played against the Pistons twice, who aren't doing so good, but man, we putting up some offensive firepower for sure. 131 on the 76ers. Led by Ron Valadi again, 28 points, 13 boards. Dude's just a complete monster. We put up 141 on the Pistons. They just didn't have an answer for us, particularly Michael Porter, 30 and 11. Same thing with Ron Valadi, 18, 10, and 5. Top of that, almost beat the Bucks. Couldn't quite get it done, although Bucks are actually having a pretty tough season. They had Giannis Antetokounmpo leaving free agency, so that's been a tough one for them. But we beat the Cavs, and then we also beat the Clippers. So we're now going in 20 and 16 right now, which means that does put us as the 7th seed in the playoffs if the season ended today. We still got some work to do in order to clinch our first playoff berth in franchise history. But man, this team is trending upward, and I certainly love to see that. But we're going to keep building on it. We'll have a nice test for us a little bit of a test for us in the next episode. We're going to go ahead and play against the Golden State Warriors, going up against the Splash Brothers, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson. They also got Andrew Wiggins and Draymond Green and a few other guys that are coming off the bench as well. Solid team, even though this is not the Warriors of old that even included KD and even Boogie Cousins for a short period of time. Should be a good one, man. So if you're excited about that game as well as enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and please smash that like button, as well as hit subscribe if you have to be brand new to the channel, and like what you see as well. This is John J. Gaming on the mic. Hoping you guys are all out there having a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.